Welcome back, everyone, to the GOATcast podcast. I am CW, and today we visit another hot take. I started this series as a way to give my opinions on certain things either happening or could have happened in the NBA. Today's one that I'm sure people will disagree with, but I'm sure I have those that are on my side on this. Michael Jordan and the Bulls would have eight-peated, not 3-3, but eight-peated had Jordan not retired after the 93 season. The 90 Chicago Bulls have to be one of the most dominant teams in NBA history, winning 6 championships between 1991 through 1998. We've seen very few ABA-NBA merged teams have the kind of success throughout a decade. As much as the media and we discuss how dominant and historic the Golden State Warriors are, or were, they only achieved 3 championships in the 2010s. And even if you want to extend them as a unit into the 2020s to equal out the time frame, they have 4 within 10 years, while the Bulls, of course, have 6 and 10. In reality, they could have really set the bar for historic runs in the NBA had Mike not decided he wanted to leave the game of basketball after his first three-peat. But there are a plethora of speculations on why he left at the height of his career, whether it was NBA forced due to gambling, or he really did think he could make the leap to baseball. I believe the man himself that he lost the motivation to play basketball after his father was murdered. He had achieved a rare three-peat. Absolutely a solid reason to walk away. Anyone that lost a loved one would likely have a reaction such as this. However, as we saw when he returned late in the 1995 season and into 1996, once that motivation and hunger returned, he picked up right where he left. Needing the sting of just a partial season and a second-round exit to motivate him get back to basketball shape and back to being the GOAT. So what if the motivation and hunger never left him and there was no early retirement? Easy answer, 2 more rings. In the years that Jordan was retired, the Bulls were second and third respectively those years in the Eastern Conference. Hardly the drop-off that other great players have left teams that were put together only to fit that player's style of play, but we won't go into that. Realistically, those Bulls teams sans Jordan actually had a chance to have done it themselves. Had they picked up maybe one more complementary piece in the offseason without Jordan, with what they had, veterans that have championship experience, an excellent coach, and a championship system, could have grinded their way to a ring in 94 without Jordan, and with that piece, could have taken up some of the slack Rusty Jordan had in those playoffs in 95. Now with Jordan, in his prime state, in his peak athletic shape, were there any teams that could have stopped the Bulls squad through those 2 seasons? The Knicks, as tough as they were able to play the Bulls in the 90s, they had no answer for prime Jordan. The Magic, they caught fire in 95 to get to the finals, taking advantage of a still getting back into the groove Michael Jordan. Now, one glaring omission in those days was no Dennis Rodman, who came up big defensively and on the boards for the Bulls. But a more in-tune Jordan would have, in my opinion, been enough to lift those Bulls past the Magic. The benefactors of Jordan retiring those 2 years, the Houston Rockets, while very good and also, in my opinion, an underrated team in the grand scheme of great teams, I don't think matched up well enough to the Bulls, especially in the backcourt with Ron Harper and Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen on the wing. Outside of injuries or a complete uncharacteristic meltdown, I cannot think of a conceivable way any of the teams in the Eastern or Western Conference could beat the 93 or 94 Bulls with a non-retired Jordan in a 5 or 7 game series. Remember, back then the first round was 5 games. Now, I know there could be some variables mixed in. Would the Bulls have gone out and gotten Rodman had they just come off of 5-peating in 95 going into the 96 season? Would Jordan have felt motivated after winning 4 or 5 in a row and stayed hungry to achieve more? Could the Bulls have kept those guys together after achieving such a massive accolade, or would egos have led to departures reconstructing the team in the latter part of the 90s? Those things could happen, but this hot take is if all things remain the same. I do know if Michael Jordan had eight-peated as a Bull, the GOAT debate would have died after the shot against Byron Russell in 98. But what do you all think? Could the Chicago Bulls have run the NBA from 1991 through 1998 and won 8 championships in a row with Michael Jordan at the helm? Or is there something that would have eventually derailed a run like that in your mind? Let me know what you think in the comments section. Also, if you want to ascend to GOAT status like number 23, please like and subscribe to the channel as we attempt to continue to grow. Hope you all enjoy the content. Thank you.